Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Call Sheet Confessions. I'm your host, Mia LePage, and today I'm joined with my friend and very special guest, Mar Santana. He's a Philly content creator, half of Philly's finest foodies, and just scored a recent job that he's going to tell you about.
Yes. Hi, everyone. First of all, I'm so happy to be the first guest on this podcast. That is such an iconic honor for me. Specifically because you were someone that I looked up to during college and just you were the only person I knew that was doing content creation.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to be here today and to talk a little bit more about me and my background. Like she said, my name is Mar Santana. I went to Temple University as a media studies and productions major, as you were too, right? Yeah, and I did a lot of social media my whole life, and I'm recently starting a new job. So we'll get into that a little bit, but yeah, I'll be starting pretty soon, January 12th at Drexel University as the assistant director of alumni engagement, and it's a new journey for sure. I've been struggling to find a new job, and that has been my biggest thing. So I'm happy to be here today to work on my craft because social media and content creation is genuinely a passion of mine. So thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you, and you being inspired by me, I felt the same way about you, and it was really nice to have that in college and kind of balance off each other.
I agree
really
completely.
Nice. So we did meet at Temple. Do you remember what class we met in?
Developing your online persona for YouTube, podcasting,
Yes.
it was a long name, but yeah, I will
was
never
a long
forget that
name.
class because we watched our videos and that
Yes.
was crazy to me.
That was cool.
It was
you got
cool.
to learn from everyone's public social media
Yeah.
page and comment on it and learn about different formats and different things. It was really cool.
Naturally following along everyone's journey. I thought that was such a cool concept because
Yeah.
that's what we're training to do essentially.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, how did you originally get started in social media? What were you like as a kid?
Yeah.
Did those traits you had as a kid translate to now?
Yeah, I will say my start on social media happened literally so for starters, I watched YouTube from 9 to 12 consistent. That was
Yeah.
the only thing that I did. Anything I could find. Slime videos was one of my big ones. I was always watching slime videos, keeping
For
up with a
sure.
lot of different YouTubers that were trending at the time, and that's really where my love started. And truthfully, I got on social media officially at 12. I made my first
Okay.
Instagram account, and I naturally knew that content creation, even though that's what it wasn't called that back then,
Yeah.
that's the route that I wanted to go in. I wanted to do the playlist lives. I wanted to go
Yeah.
do the whole thing, and that's where it started. So I made my Instagram at 12. I quickly got a lot of followers. Before I went to high school, I had 10,000 followers. So it was very
Amazing.
much
Yeah.
it grew very quickly. I also started around that time getting into YouTube. So I
Okay.
want to say by 14, I had a YouTube account, an Instagram account, and I was using them as a content creator would. I was
Yeah.
posting everything. I was doing YouTube videos, photo shoots, the whole nine, trying my best to work with brands, even though at 15, 16, you really not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
But I was doing my best to get in that scene. So that's where it really started. And I feel for me, that is I found a love for it because for so long I was just doing it and blindly. I was just doing
Right.
it and it was working. And eventually I went to college for it. And I think that
Yeah.
that was what really motivated me to lock in and understand this industry a little bit more, because this
Definitely.
industry, if you're not in it, you don't understand it. And I think that that is something that people don't, I feel it's taken very lightly, that this is a very hard job to have. And I think it's because no one knows the ins and outs of it. And of course we can get
Right.
into that too, but that's really where it started for me. I found my love for it at 14 and I just continued.
Yeah.
This year specifically, I will say my career has skyrocketed a lot in a lot of different ways. Even though my followers count hasn't went up that much, I have been so busy. And I know you can relate to that. Just
Yeah.
being, again, working directly in the industry while being a creator is it's a job. It's
Yes.
a full-time job. You never stop. So that's really where it started for me. And I think that I've just genuinely loved it ever since. And I feel I'm probably going to do it forever.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So, what kind of content did you start making at 14 at that younger age?
Yeah, I was.
What were you posting?
Yeah, I was obsessed with Fifth Harmony. I
Okay,
will say
yes!
my start of just social media was stemming from a love for that girl group, and I
Okay.
would post about it on my YouTube channel. I was doing reaction videos. I was doing a lot, and truthfully, the Harmonizers was their fan base. That was who followed me. It was a bunch of Fifth Harmony
Okay.
fan accounts that followed me. Then I brought into YouTube, I brought onto Instagram, and then it just was growing from there. So what I would do is I would try and emulate a lot of the content that I would watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
So night routines, morning routines, iPhone case collections, those were the types of videos that I was doing consistently. Whether people were watching or not, I had such a great time doing them. Like, specifically reaction videos would do a lot better back then, but that's where I started.
Yeah.
I was doing like vlogs of me walking to the park with my friends, like getting in the car, like my friends got their car for the first time, let's do a vlog and go drive somewhere. So a lot of very real occurrences as a teenager that you have
Yeah.
was what I was filming. And I think that that's what made me want to continue doing it, because now I'm able to go back and look at the fact that I was 14 years old in a car with my friends, jamming to
Right.
music, and I made a whole vlog out of it when it's like we weren't even doing anything. Like, but it was so
Yes.
fun.
I
So that's
love
really where
that.
that's what I started doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I did the same thing on YouTube. I would make vlogs of dance conventions, and it's so
Yes.
crazy to go and look back at them and see me at like
Wow.
12 years old, like
Right.
dancing at convention with my friends, and you
Literally.
have those memories,
Yeah.
which is really nice. So you started making Fifth Harmony content and reaction videos, and like you took inspiration from trends and seeing what other
Yeah.
people were doing, what other people were doing. So from then to now, how did you transition more into like foodie content, Philadelphia content?
Yeah, that honestly, it's funny because I was just telling my friend about this in the car. I was honestly, I will say, like, this is a real raw reason. I finished school in
Yeah.
2024. We finished around the same time, and I couldn't get a job. I was applying, and I think the first thing that you think of is like, I have a degree. Why I can get a job? Like, I have a degree. Like, that's just what it was. It was not like that for me at
No,
all. I
it's
could
not like that.
It
It's
isn't
not
at
like
all.
that
Like, I
anymore.
had a part-time job and it was paying my rent, but that was it. And I
Yeah.
quickly just fell into a depression around the time of like the end of 2024.
Yeah.
I was like, nothing's giving, nothing's working. And I felt like that just put me in a spiral of like, okay, I have this platform. What the hell can I do with it? Like, what am I going to do with it? How am I going to? I also thought of it from this perspective.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I'm like, how many gay Puerto Rican people do I see that went to college and are doing social media? How many people do I see like that on social media? Not that many.
Yeah.
Granted, there's probably so many, but the people that I followed, I just wasn't seeing that. So I was like, okay, I
Right.
really want to kind of take this brand and run with it, because I am such a specific person, I guess. And I
Yeah.
think the uniqueness of what I can produce is what I knew I could be doing. So to talk about the foodie things a little bit, I started on my own. So when I originally started working at my old job, Campus Philly, which is a nonprofit,
Yeah.
they are like a social media presence as well. So they would get sent out to go review restaurants. It was kind of like a very much Visit Philly type of thing. So that's what I started doing. I was not in that role at all, but I let them know like, hey, like for some extra hours, like I could tap in, I could edit, I can go. I started with that. And truthfully, I will say this, it was pure luck. I went to one dinner and then I met like the PR person who was like hosting the dinner. He saw me, he followed me on Instagram, he put me on a list. After that, I was put on just lists to go out and try different restaurants and like come back and make my video for it. So that's how it started. And then it was outreach too. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the restaurants, and this is for all the creators out there that are a little bit smaller, reach out yourself. Like always just show that you are the face of the brand, you are the owner of the brand. I think that is the main thing. So for me, I was like, let me just DM 30 to 50 restaurants a day in Philly to ask like, hey, my name's Mar Santana, this is who I am, this is what I do, how can we collaborate? And granted enough, they responded, and I started just scheduling out restaurant like dinners, maybe like once a week for the first 6 months. And then when that started happening, I started noticing more traction in my videos. It was like one of the situations where I was like, do people want to see this? Like, do people want to see me go try food? I've never talked
Yeah.
about food on my channel at all.
It was a new
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was,
content you
but
were
I
putting
also
out.
feel like that was also just a new concept in general too. So I was trying to
Yeah.
like, hop on it a little bit. And for me, I was like, you know what? I'm also born and raised in Philly. A lot of creators that I know and that are working in the industry, they grew up in Philly or they'll be in Philly, but no one's like directly like living in there their whole life. Like I was in my neighborhood and then
Right.
I moved to a different one. So I just felt like the authenticity of what my reactions would be were just a little bit more oomph, especially for the people that followed me for years at that point.
Yeah.
So that's really where I started with that. The foodie account was something that I started. If you guys don't know, Mia previously mentioned I have a foodie account too. It's PHL Finest Foodies, and I do it with my friend Camille. We kind of were just like, we both do this for work. Let's make an account. If we're getting invited to these things, let's make an account and make a different video that's not
Yeah.
as professional or doesn't have to show, like very like guidelines, like this is for one specific audience. How can we repurpose this content in a way that, makes other people interested? And that's essentially what we did. It worked, in my opinion. I think that was something that was a really, really great idea. It was one of the fastest like growing accounts that I have to date, truthfully.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really like where I started with getting into the foodie account. And I'm still doing it. Definitely not as much in 2026, I will say. I have a lot of other goals, but that's definitely like where I started with that.
That's awesome. It's cool that that cold pitching yourself really worked out for you? Because I think a lot of creators want to be scoring these brand deals, want to be making money from social media, but don't know exactly how to do that, what to say. Are brands even going to respond or take you seriously? Like, when you're reaching out, do you just submit a message? Do you submit a portfolio? What does that look like when you're pitching yourself?
So in general, if you're a creator, specifically a creator that went to college, I think you would know this too, to have a body of work at some point in your career is necessary. For me, truthfully, I did have a media kit for a while that I was using, but I haven't updated it. It got to the point where I was like, okay, I need to like go back in 2025, grab everything and redo it. So I'm kind of in that rebranding purpose now. But I think once you like once you start posting a lot more of the same content, people will, like brands and restaurants will see one video and be like, all right, like that one did well, I'll respond. So I truthfully was DMing them. I had a pitch though, like I would take it from my notes and cater it to what restaurant that I wanted to go to. And that's another thing. I wasn't just DMing any restaurant. I was DMing restaurants I genuinely wanted to try.
That's awesome.
I was like, let's do this. So I would send an email or DM. If there was an email in the bio, I'd email them or try and find it in some way, or straight up DM them and be like, hey, like, can I email you? And they'll give me the email and that will work. So I think there's a lot of different ways to go about it. Some people really think deeply into it where it's like, I have to get to the front. I have to meet, like, for example, like there's a restaurant like La Catarachita in Philly that I went to a lot recently. And my mindset was like, I have to find the owner. And it's like, no, people are in positions to like run the Instagram account. And like, and I think like I would know that considering that's what I went to college for essentially. But yeah, I think like that's the main thing, but also just building relationships with those people. The people that you're talking to, I always make it a point to find them when I come into the restaurant, say hello, be welcoming, and kind of like show the restaurant that I'm grateful to be there and things like that. So that's really where that started. And I think that that has been like the most effective for me so far.
You mentioned college, how you went to school for this. How has college helped you in your career?
Truthfully, this is like a crazy hot take, but I think like had I not gone to college and learned the industry the way that I did, I would not be anywhere near to where I am now. I think I very much could have like more followers and all that. Like, I don't even think it's anything about that. I think for me, understanding the industry is really something that is necessary, especially if you have a dream of working like on a set or working like just like doing like voiceover work, anything like that. You have to understand it even a little bit. And I think like college provides you with, especially the college we went to, we had people in the industry coming back to teach.
Which was awesome.
That was the most effective thing in my opinion. And I'm so grateful that we were like able to have that opportunity. That really helped me a lot. Shout out to you, Mark Zumoff. You definitely helped me a lot in that regard.
Shout out Mark Zumoff.
Because he definitely just like kind of made me feel like I was already in the game. And I think that was like what helped a lot. So yeah, being in college and being close to my professors, I definitely was like, there was a sense of like, a lot of people were going to school to be a creator or to be like in the industry or whatever. And for me, it was like, I was already like one foot in the door. And I think that was like something really cool that professors and like people teaching could be like, hey, like, okay, let's use this. Like you have it, let's do something with it. So that's really what helped me. So college, truthfully, if I didn't go to Temple for what I went to Temple for, I have no idea where I would be today, genuinely.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like that closeness with professors was really nice. Like going to like high school, I was never close with my teachers like that. And they kind of also, I felt in high school, like didn't really support what I wanted to do because they didn't really understand it. But going to a school specifically media studies and production as a major, which I don't see anywhere else.
Anywhere. I have not seen it.
They
like,
have
at
like
all.
Media, but it's not like media production. It was really cool and like very niche. And there were so many things like Temple reached out to do like a day in the life video with me. And then we both went to the governor's mansion. And I don't think that would have happened without Temple.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
I feel like that opened so many doors for us. And I think that was like, I don't know, it was the best way to just like, again, like put my face out there, put my name out there. Like I'm going into different rooms at the governor's mansion. Like when I was there a few weeks ago and people were saying how you went last year. And I was just like, that's crazy how we all are just interconnected in this way. And like a lot of like us specifically, we were connected through college, but it's just like we're still working in the same industry in a sense. So yeah, I definitely feel like Temple, shout out to Temple, because like I have not, I really like don't think I would be anywhere close to where I've been today without just having those skills of understanding like this is what a brand wants or this is what people want. This is how you deliver it.
Yeah. And because I always knew I wanted to be in this industry. I loved dance. I loved performing. But I knew it was important to learn the business side because people can take advantage of content creators, not pay you what you deserve, think you don't know anything. But like having that knowledge and understanding of the entertainment industry as a whole is really helpful.
Okay,
sure.
I do kind of want to pivot a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
we can continue, but I want to ask you about like your situation and what you've been up to.
Okay, for
So,
sure.
my thing is, and again, we've spoken on social media the past 2 years, but not too much because like we're both busy, like things
Yeah.
happen.
Post-grad life.
It's post grad life. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I am just like curious to know how you're using all your goals. I feel like from an outside point of view, it looks like you're using all of what you're interested in and putting it in one. And I think that's amazing. I think that's a
Thanks.
very hard thing to do for one, but to like move to LA for one thing, that's its own thing. But to be dancing in LA, to be working on a set in LA, like you just talk about what you've been there for a year or more than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it'll be a year now.
That's crazy. So what
Yeah.
how has that been like? I just want a little catch up for there.
For sure.
Yeah.
The first year was really hard.
Okay.
And I tend to on my social media post a lot of my like just accomplishments and like the good
Yeah.
things, and like a lot of people do. Like we don't talk about as much the struggles going on, which this is giving me the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
But first year, like moving away from all my friends,
Yeah.
all my family, like a new city. My apartment actually burnt down.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
A car blew up underneath my apartment.
Ugh,
Crazy.
that's
insane. That happened. So there was a lot of like hurdles I had to deal with. I got hit in a car accident, so
Oh
I was
Lord.
injured and out dancing for 6 months. So definitely had some struggles we had to overcome
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
But like you were saying, like trying to find a job after college, it's like tougher than we think. We think
Yeah.
you have a degree, you can get a job. It's
Right.
really not like that anymore. They want to see like top tier experience
Yes.
for an entry level, and it's
I'm
like
that's
what?
insane.
And I was really excited because I had scored like my dream job, one of
Yeah.
my dream jobs, like after college. I ended up falling through, and I was devastated because I was like, I'm moving out to LA.
Yeah.
Like I need a job. Like I thought I had this lined up. But thankfully, shout out to Temple. There was an alum looking for PAs for
that's cool.
a Netflix show, for John Mulaney's show.
Yeah.
And the dean reached out to me, and I was like, yes, I'm interested. And that's how I ended up getting that. And
That's really cool.
I was like, everything really happens for a reason, because if that other job didn't fall through, I would have said I wasn't looking for work.
Right. That's
But
so true.
it happened to work at that time. And then from there, I met my boss on that job. She really liked me, loved working with her. She just hired me on another set, which
Clock it. Congrats.
coming soon. We can't talk about it
Yeah.
fully yet, but coming soon. Which that was reality. So that was
Okay.
cool going from like a comedy show to work on reality,
Yeah.
like two different types of television. And then at the same time, when I haven't been working production, I've been picking up some dance videos, which I happened to get from there was a girl in a dance class with me, and she was like, "Can I talk to you after class?" And I was like, "For sure, like totally." And she like asked for my Instagram, and I'm like, "Yeah," like thinking I'm just making a friend. And she messaged me and was like, "I'm casting a music video. I'm directing this video. I'd love to have you in it." And I was like, "Oh, sure."
Yeah.
And so it's like that's what I love about LA is
Yeah.
you really never know who's in the room, what could
Mm-hmm.
happen. Like just by like putting yourself out there, going to class, being a good person, like people will want to work with you.
For sure. I
Like
agree.
Adam Siegel who's Quinta Brunson's manager, came
Mm-hmm.
into one of my classes at Temple on the study away program in LA,
Okay.
and he said there's like a triangle of the three things to be successful in the entertainment industry. He said be on time, like be fun to work with, and like be just like good at your job.
Yeah.
Like as long as you do those three things, you'll
You
be
should be
fine.
good, yeah.
You'll be
That's
fine.
valid.
And I really like have drilled that into my head, and it's so true. So definitely a lot of craziness. And then even between like the entertainment industry, media industry, it's gig work.
Yeah.
You book that thing, you make that brand deal, and then what in
Yeah.
the meantime? And so I picked up jobs. I worked at a smoothie shop.
Period.
I sell beer for Girl Beer. Shout out Girl Beer. It's
Love that.
so good. But like that's the reality. Like
Yeah.
between the glamorous jobs, you have to pick up some other things, especially in LA. Like it's expensive. And so yeah, it was rocky at first, but I feel like now I really have a community. I
Yeah.
really have like people, like business people as well as friends. Like so I have a lot of work coming my way, friends that I can hang out with. Like I feel like I finally it took a while, but I finally have like my people.
That's
which
amazing.
reminded me of like the first year of college.
Yeah.
Like you're like,
Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't really have my people. I'm
Yeah.
in like like where do I go?
Yeah.
But I feel like I finally am coming around to
That's
feeling like-
amazing and inspiring for one, because again, I've never been to LA, and I think like at some point in my career, I'll be there for work. And I think
Yeah.
that's, I will be there for work. But
And you can
I'm
come stay
like,
with me.
exactly. Trust me, I'm plotting. I'm like, great, I have somewhere to stay. But no, I definitely think that's very inspiring, especially for just being like, again, owls are everywhere. Like Temple, like you
Yes.
can go literally anywhere and someone will have a Temple shirt on. So I think that's really cool that I was able to bring you over there and for you to just embark on that new journey. But yeah, we can continue. I just needed to know. I'm like,
Yeah.
and like we'll catch up, of course, more like
sure.
off camera. I'm just like, it's very, very cool to see, like, in the perspective I want to put it in is like, see you going out there. I have another friend, Izzy, who went out there. She's been working with like,
Yes.
Izzy, yeah.
We've been trying, me and her have been trying to get together
That's so
for
funny.
so long. But like we said, we're both so busy. We're so, like, she'll
Yeah.
message me and I'll message her and then we're like, oh, we're both, like,
Yeah.
we're going to make it happen. Izzy girl, we're going to make it happen.
Yeah, and I'll see you when you come home, babe. But
Yes.
I'm like, that is like, seeing you guys out there, it's like, I'm kind of there in a sense. It's
Yeah.
like people like that are really like, I don't want to say neck and neck with me, but like we went to the same school, like things like
Right.
that. Like, and you're doing it. And I think that's such a great thing
And just
because
it's
like,
possible.
exactly. And it definitely is. So yeah, I just wanted to know. I was like, I needed the scoop.
Yeah, for sure. So we did both go to the governor's mansion. How was that experience?
So honestly, when I say that out of my mouth,
It
like
sounds insane. Every time I say it, I'm like, because I would never be there. Like,
Yeah.
how did I get there?
I will say something that is so unique and specific to my content creation journey is
Yeah.
my first influencer event ever was I was invited by Josh Shapiro.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
Right.
think that is a crazy sentence, but like even that morning when I went a few weeks ago, my roommate was like, "You look cute. Where you going?" I was like, "The governor's house." Why?
Right,
She
it's
was like,
like-
"Wait, where?" I was like, "Josh's house." I'm like, "What do you mean?" But no, it was so cool, and I respect him so much, like period, and I respect and
Definitely.
love Gavin too.
Yes, Gavin is amazing.
He is amazing,
Oh
and
my
I love
gosh.
like his entire team overall. But I think like that was like a relationship that I made randomly, and I think
Yeah.
it really helped me break out into the content creation space. My first event, I was with like Bran. I was with
Yeah.
like a bunch of people who I watched on my screen and like was
Right.
with them in person. I was like, wait, we're all real. This is a crazy concept. But when I went to his house recently, I was scared. I was very nervous because I was like, okay, it's not just Philly influencers, people that I see at like these restaurant events that I go to.
It's like all of Pennsylvania.
This is all of PA.
Yeah.
People like 300,000, 500,000. Like it was like I still get nervous around just that. I
sure.
own it for sure, the fact that I do content creation. So that's never been like a thing. But for me, I was like, wow, like it's crazy that I'm in this specific room with all these people. Like it was insane. And I let Josh know, I was like, I just want to let you know, you introduced me to a lot of these different events. Like me being at this one kind of skyrocketed a lot of things. And I feel
Yeah.
like the fact that you don't know that is crazy. And he was like, wait, really? And I was like, yes. I was like, it's
Yeah.
crazy. But I think it's because the way, like, you know, like the way I present myself on social media is kind of like I've always been a creator in a sense.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of why that worked that way. But yeah, it was very cool. I can't believe we both went there. And I also like it got burned down recently. So it was just like we went to the reopening of
Yeah.
like overall. And I think like it was beautiful and it was gorgeous. And I was just like, I don't know, this is so surreal to be thanked by the governor for the hard work that we do, to be told in a sense where it's like, we genuinely understand why you guys do what you do is so validating
Yes.
because it's really not always just to post like the best thing to do in Philly. No, it really is like I'm doing this with a purpose because I
Right.
know I have a voice and I want to use it. So yeah, when it comes to just like politics and all that, I really don't speak too much. But when it comes to, you know, what's right, I'll
Yeah,
talk about it. So
definitely.
yeah.
And I love that. I remember when I went, Gavin said to all of us, he was like, you are all here because you have the courage
Yeah.
to post on social media and
Exactly.
share your story. And that really stuck with me because, like, to be thanked and
Yeah.
they show so much respect for what we
Yeah.
do. Because people can be mean, people
Mm-hmm.
can bully you. I remember growing up, I started social media around the same time,
Yeah.
like 12 years old, posting. Like, people would make fun of my dance videos and tell me I couldn't dance. And, like, I still kept posting. And
Yeah.
look where I am now, getting invited to the governor's residence. Like, that
It's like,
is
bye.
incredible.
Like, it's crazy. Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree completely. That's so wild.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, we're going to get into some of our segments, okay? We have exciting segments planned. So, the first one is what's on your call sheet? So, like, what does a day in your life look like as Mar, the content creator?
Okay.
What does it look like?
So, a normal day, and I will say as of recently, considering I've been unemployed, I use that term very like it's neither here or there because I was making jobs for myself
Right.
anywhere. That's like the biggest thing. So with that being said, in these like 4 to 5 months of just like doing content creation full time, it looked different for me. So usually I'd wake up, start filming immediately because I'm like, anything is content. My mindset is like, anything is content. Film, even if it's just me putting on my freaking skin oil like in the morning, like do that. Film my coffee I'm making because I know coffee is a big part of my content. Yeah, so that was like my biggest thing. I just wake up and I film, and then I kind of like by 12, I'm already like on my laptop sending emails to different brands. Like every single day, I'm looking for an opportunity. I'm looking
Awesome.
for
Yeah.
whether that's to work with a social media, like a small brand in Philly where I'm able to like run their social media. I'll pitch myself. Whether that's be reaching out to restaurants to come in and do a video later that day, I'll do that. So some of them are paid. I will admit some of my, and when I say some, I mean a very small portion of my restaurant videos specifically are paid. I'll die on the hill of like, I get this hundreds of dollars free meal and to make a video and produce for you.
Yeah.
I don't need payment all the time, you know? Like I really don't. And I think that that's like a hard concept and a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people. But for me personally, I'm really not going to trip over a payment for something that
Yeah.
I genuinely asked to do, you know?
Right.
So
I kind of feel that, like, one time this hair care company sent me, like, these hair tools that are so expensive.
yeah.
And they just wanted me to post about them. And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, should I be asking for money? But then I'm like, I really want this stuff and
yeah,
I'm going to use it and I love
exactly.
it. So, like, and that's so much, actually worth so much
Yeah,
money, the
I
stuff that
agree.
they're, like, giving.
I agree.
Yeah, and then I feel like also sometimes those things can then increase opportunities because if you're going to restaurants, even without getting paid, other restaurants will see you doing that
Yes.
and then pay you to go to their restaurant.
Yes,
so sometimes
exactly.
you have to just do it at first before, and then the money comes later. The hustle
I
comes
agree.
first, then the money comes.
I agree. No, I agree completely. And I think that that is what I wanted 2025 to be. So to kind of fully answer that question, to answer that question, I pretty much just used every single day to film, to outreach, and to find a new job. Like I was just always looking for something else to do. And I would reach out again to restaurants I used to work with and be like, hey, can I come back? But do you need help with social media? Because another thing about me is
Yeah.
I'm a freelance social media manager. So I kind of bring everything that I have going up on here and I bring it to an account. I have my own opinions about that. Honestly, after doing it for a few months, I do think it is a very hard job. It is
Yeah.
very hard to please 5 different brand owners with their exact what they want, because sometimes you're being hired and it's like, this is sometimes too, like some people have the mindset of like, I'm hiring you and I want you to do exactly what I want in my head. And that's not always the way it's going to be.
Right.
Where it's, I work with other people and I notice like they hire me because they just want me. And I love that
Yeah.
feel. That makes me feel so much more passionate about the work that I'm doing and executing. So yeah, that's really like how each day has been, truthfully. I've just been filming so much, finding any opportunity to just get content out there. And I'm not like a big trend person I used to be back in the day, but like now
Okay.
I don't really like follow trends. I kind of just post what I want to post.
Yeah.
And I think that's starting to work a little bit now. And I think that that is definitely what keeps me motivated in this space for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's great that you're just taking like everyday tasks and turning that into content, because I know so many friends of mine that want to get into content creation, but they don't know what to post. And
Yeah.
as simple as like grabbing a coffee or making a coffee, like
Right.
things you do every day, you can turn that into a video.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about your coffee content. What has been your favorite coffee drink that you make at home?
Okay.
He's a barista, guys.
I am Marisa, if you will.
Yes.
But so coffee has been, again, another thing that randomly stemmed from social media. I don't know if you know Emma Chamberlain, but
Yeah.
I only drink coffee because of her. Like once she
Okay.
started on
Yeah.
YouTube, like the first year she came out, I literally like never drank coffee in my life. I started it because of her.
Oh,
After
wow.
after the years of like testing out different recipes, my favorite coffee to make at home is a maple sea salt latte. I like use maple butter from Trader Joe's specifically, and I'll just like melt it in the espresso and I'll add all my ice, add my little milks and my creamer, and it is the best thing in the world. Like when I tell you getting a mocha pot for $20 rather than a $500 espresso machine is the way to go. It is so effective. Like it is literally the best way to enjoy your coffee. So little tip for you, if you don't have a mocha pot, buy one.
Yeah.
Like they're literally like $25 and it just makes espresso. It's so easy. So yeah, that's like my main thing. And I feel like that kind of brings me back to like my podcasting era too, where I
Yeah.
used to have my own podcast called Shut Up. It's still alive. Yeah. I'll bring her back at some point.
Yeah.
I know I will. But for me, I'm like, that was like the mindset I wanted to go off of. I love the idea of like sitting down with someone, having coffees in our hands. And
Yeah.
I made branded cups like to emulate the fact that like
Yes, you gave me
soon,
one.
I know
It's
you
so
have one. I
cute.
love it. I was like, I wanted to pretty much bring that to life in a way where it's like, okay, like I have these cups to manifest the fact that like I am starting a brand and I'm going to expand
Yeah.
on that brand. So yeah, that's really like where my coffee love stems from. And I do videos on that literally all the time. They don't do the best, honestly. That's like my favorite kind of content that I make that doesn't perform as well, but I would never care. I'm gonna keep
I
doing
love
it.
it. I'm learning how to make coffee at home.
I
Like,
love
and
that.
the maple butter from Trader Joe's.
Yes.
Clock it.
So
It's
tea.
so good. I have it as well.
I love
So
that. It's
good.
amazing.
All right, so that's what's on your call sheet. Now, like you mentioned, you're starting a new job
Yeah.
as the assistant director of alumni engagement at
Yes.
Drexel University. So, what is that going to look like in terms of maybe like your content? How is that going to be utilized in this role? And then how are we going to balance both? Are we going to see content about the job? Are you going to keep it separate?
Yeah, I think that is something that I've thought about a lot these past few weeks. I
Yeah.
feel like naturally the end of the year, 2026 is coming. Like I have thought about it so much, and I really think that I am finally in a place in my career. I use 2025 as my like go to everything, say yes to everything,
Yeah.
be everywhere, do your best to just get your name out there. I feel like I did that.
Yeah.
I can say this. So my main goal for 2025 was to get my first brand deal with Visit Philly. And if you're from Philly or anywhere, they have a Visit anything, like a Visit
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, so they'll have like this account where they basically will pick creators around the area to do specific videos about different locations in Philly. And I was recently asked to do a video for the new year, which that was the number one thing on my bucket list. I wrote it down to get a brand deal with Visit Philly. So I worked any networking event I knew they'd be at, I'd follow them all on like social media. They're all amazing people, mind you. Love the Visit Philly team so much. And it's just true. Like they're all so genuine. But that was my biggest goal, and I got it. So that was like
great.
biggest brand deal
Yeah.
of my life, truthfully. And I'll start like posting for them in 2026. And I think that for me was definitely like my biggest wake up call. So
Yeah.
with that being said, I think in 2026, in terms of content, I'm going to really divide it. I now will have a 9 to 5, so I'll talk about that a little bit. But I really want to lock into that because it's my career. This job is something that I want to do in my career.
Yes.
So I feel very passionate about it, and I'm just as passionate about content creation, but this gives me an opportunity to do my long form content. I love YouTube. I've always loved YouTube so much. I love vlogs. I watch them all the time, especially at work. Like if I'm working on something, a vlog's on in the background.
Yeah.
Like whether I'm watching it or not, like that's just how I function. And I think for me in this era of content creation and being more out there, like I'm going to mainly do like a lot of videos. I'm going to continue doing the foodie videos. I have a separate account for that, but I'm going to stop it on my main account. I think
Okay.
I just want to have that live somewhere else
Yeah, for sure.
and just do more of my life and my everyday on my account
Okay.
and go back to just like posting whatever. I'm the mindset of like use my Instagram as a close friends. Like I
Right.
want to get out of that like professional photo thing. Like I love it
need
here
to
and
get out
there.
of that.
Yeah, no.
I need to
it's
get
a
out
mindset.
of that.
It's a mindset
Yeah.
for sure. And it's cute. I love it. But I think to grow and to show who you actually are,
Definitely.
those walls need to come down a lot. And I think that's
Yeah.
that's my main goal in 2026.
Okay,
for
I
sure.
love that. I think that's really great because then people can relate more to what you're posting and
Yeah.
identify more with you than just like seeing things from afar. Like
Yeah.
they get up close and personal with you, and then people feel like they get to know you more.
I agree completely.
All right, so our next segment is called Hot Takes in Hollywood, although it's more like cold takes in Philly because
Right.
it's freezing. But it's basically like this or that industry edition. So it's going to be like this or that, but for content creation.
Okay.
It's going to be like a lightning round.
Okay.
So you just choose one or the other.
Bet.
Okay? All right. Planning content versus spontaneous posts.
Spontaneous posts.
Spontaneous posts. Instagram versus TikTok.
Instagram.
Instagram. Are you on TikTok as much or at all?
Yes,
Okay.
I do have like 8,000 followers on there and like a lot of likes, but they're mainly from like 2020. I will say that was like peak era for content creation. I'm a scroller on TikTok.
Yes.
I'm not posting on. That's just not my platform.
I'm the same
I
way.
can't thrive on that platform.
I
at all.
love Instagram. I'm like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that's my bread and butter. When it comes to TikTok, I feel like a grandma on
Yes,
TikTok. I'm like, I'm
literally
just
same.
like my mom scrolling.
Just sending reels. I'm
Yeah,
like whatever or
yeah.
TikToks. I'm like yo.
But 2020, posting like 3 videos, like doing the dances like
Million
every
views.
day.
Easy.
Yeah,
I'm like okay.
but not so
Yeah.
Yeah. CapCut or in-app editing, or what are you using to edit?
I'm using CapCut right now.
Okay.
I do pay the $20 a month for CapCut. I've never in-app edited, but I do want to try because Instagram I heard has a great like platform to do it now. So I think that would be a nice like shift. For
The
me.
Edits app.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Collaborations versus solo content.
I do love me a collab, but I will say solo content.
Okay.
I love collabing with people for sure. I think I'm like I pick and choose a lot of the times like what I'm gonna post in terms of a collab. I think it needs to be fun in my opinion. Whereas for me, like I'm gonna post whatever and I don't have to think about it. So that's why I choose solo.
Right, you have to work with somebody else on that, but you can just do whatever you want when it's just you. Yeah. Okay, Philly eats versus food outside of Philly.
Philly eats.
Yeah.
Like for sure.
Down.
After trying,
Down.
I don't think I've had one restaurant that was bad this year. Genuinely. Like
Love.
I have never even thought to go on social media and run my mouth about a restaurant. Like it has truly been amazing.
I went out to Bar 1010 the other day. They have matcha martinis.
Yo,
never seen that anywhere else. Never seen that anywhere else. And I live in LA.
I know,
I have
literally,
not
right?
seen that.
I'm like, that's crazy you haven't seen that. No, I need to put that on my list because I've heard those are amazing.
Bomb. And it's strawberry cold foam on top.
Yes, like
Are
I'm
we
about to go.
Like, oh my gosh. Okay, so we went to Temple University. If you didn't go to Temple or don't have friends at Temple, you won't understand this question. But for the Temple viewers, Richie's or Saxby's? T.
Okay. Real response. I love Saxby's now. I didn't while I went to Temple at all. I do love Saxby's now. I do also love Richie's Cafe, but the stand beats all of them because there's 2 locations for Richie's.
Yes.
So I will say Richie's stand, Saxby's, Richie's Cafe.
Okay.
That's my ranking.
Ooh, okay.
What about you?
Richie's Cafe is top for me.
Okay, gotcha.
I spent so much money at Richie's.
Girl, I know. I was every day.
Every day.
Eating and drinking coffee.
We were in class. I'd go late. Like, I have to get my coffee. Like, I have to. I would get a coffee and an avocado toast with no tomato. Every single day of college.
That is crazy.
Every single day. On my graduation day, I had to take a picture with Richie. I was like,
yes,
this was my college
such a smart
experience. And my apartment building was right by it, so I just,
on the
way to class every time.
As you should.
But, yeah, love Richie's. Have to. That's just my top.
Love y'all.
Like, Saxby's had, like, I like the stuff there. Richie's, I like the coffee at the stand, but they had more options at the cafe.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why I like the cafe better. Okay, filming at home or in public?
As of this year, in public.
Okay.
I was always exclusively filmed at home for so long.
Yeah.
But I think this year I got a lot more comfortable just whipping out my phone and recording. I want to get to the point where I'm just like walking and talking. I haven't gotten there yet, but I used to be. I think I'm like refining the love for that. Excuse me. But I will say filming in public has definitely helped me a lot because I feel like it just made me naturally more comfortable.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm working on that too because I feel like a lot of my content, like if I do a day in life or something, I'll film it and then I'll voice over after, which is easier for me because then I don't have to like plan what I'm going to say, or if I film it and I don't like what I said, I can just like get the content but then like record it later. But I do think that real time is nice and I like watching those videos. Like I like watching people in real time talk about it. So yeah, but that's great that you've become like more confident doing that.
I agree. I think real time videos are definitely my favorite too.
Okay, yeah. So short form or long form content? I feel like you love both.
I do love both, but I'm a YouTube stan through and through, so I'm gonna say long form.
Okay.
I still consume vlogs every single day, so it's just like I've been watching the same vloggers for years, and I'm so happy that y'all are staying true. Please don't leave me, but I'm like, yeah, definitely long form content.
I might have to agree because I love podcasts and I watch all my podcasts, like I watch the video version.
Same.
I like never listen. I just always am like watching them. And so like that's like my like watching a vlog. I like watch the whole podcast and I like listen to so many.
Agreed
of
completely.
them. And now trending audio or like OG audio?
Honestly, I will say trending now because they're getting better in my opinion. I'm like all the
They
audios
are.
that are like the ones that we were like in 2020 and I listen to them now. They're like triggering like in a good way, I guess.
It takes you back. It takes you back.
And like now it's very short and simple. Like all my audios come from like baddies. So it's like it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, so that was our lightning round. Now we're going to do fact or fiction. Okay. So we're going to clear up any misconceptions about social media and content creation.
Period.
Do you need a massive following to succeed?
No.
No.
Not at all.
Period. Do you think engagement matters more than followers?
100%.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like brands are looking more at like the views, the comments that you're getting rather than just the number.
Yeah.
Because me personally, like I have not been posting as much as I was in college and I see my like viewing going down and I'm like, I need to bring that back up because that is so important. Those are the people that are interacting, keeping up with what you're doing. Like it's great to like have a following, but that I
agree completely.
Do you have to have only one niche? There was every video I watched like growing up about getting into social media content. It was always like pick your niche, pick your niche. Do you think you have to have one niche, or can you be multifaceted in the content that you post?
I think that, and I agree with you when you say that, because that is like what they would tell us in school too.
Right.
You need to pick something and be consistent with it.
Right.
I think to narrow yourself down to anything and it be one thing is a crazy thing, a crazy concept in general, because us as human, like, let's talk about the fact that there's TikTok videos where it's a video on top and then like someone playing with slime on the bottom. Like, it's like y'all are showing me that you literally need something new, like so much so that there's two different videos on one screen. So for me,
that our attention span is that poor.
Exactly. And I think that there's a lot of things that go with that in general, but I also just feel like for me, no, I don't think I will ever like double down on a niche. I don't think I will. I think, and even when like I get asked what type of creator I am, and they're like, your lifestyle, right? And I'm like, like, I don't know. I'm not really showing y'all too much. And like, like, I don't know. I like to do it all. So I feel like that's more of a personal opinion, but I'll just say that.
And I feel like sometimes that can increase opportunities, because if you're posting different content, like people can identify with different content that you post. And more brands like, oh, I like her gym videos.
Right.
A different brand, I like her restaurant videos. Like, let's just do it all.
Exactly.
Let's just do it
Agreed.
all. Is Philly a good market for food-focused content brand?
Yes.
Like,
I think if you are looking to do food content, come to Philly. Like people, and a lot of restaurants, it's very competitive too. There's so many now, so many like coming out in the new year too, where people want that Michelin star. So I think like, especially now that it's in Philly, I think that there's a lot of opportunity to make a lot of different videos with a lot of great restaurants.
Yeah, I always say Philly's a big foodie and sports city.
Yeah.
If you have sports content to make, if you're an Eagles fan,
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Like, there's so much opportunity here for that.
I agree.
Do you think freelancing means less stability?
Don't clock it. I'm like, okay. No. Overall, no. I think it's about how you're doing it and if you know what you're doing.
Okay.
I think for like on a personal level, for me, freelancing, my perspective of it going into the new year is going to be completely different. I'm not just going to pick up any job and hope for the best. I think for me, I'm going to be very intentional about how I'm doing it, because I found myself in a situation where like I was like, I don't even want to do content creation anymore, because now I'm being paid to do it for other people, and I feel like I'm not executing properly. And I think that is like the biggest thing for me, specifically because I was managing other people's social medias. I think that was like, I don't know, it was very hard. And there was like like it's also hard when like personal things come up. Like it just is a hard thing to do. So I think the type of freelancing that you're doing is definitely really specific. But I will say, like, my biggest recommendation of what I'm going to do in the new year is have a job and freelance.
Yeah.
I love to have side jobs like all the time, and I secured 2 for like the next month or so. So I'm like, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see how it goes. We're going to see how I can fit content creation into that. I will try my best. So yeah, I think for me, I was less stable doing freelance, but it's all the mindset, in my opinion.
Yeah, I hear you on that. And I'm actually going to be doing the same thing in the new year. I just got a full-time job. I'm going to be doing 10 to 6 every day.
By the way.
Thank you. But I have that same mindset. Like, I want to always be doing things on the side. I'm going to still be, like, working and other jobs, like, on the weekends or post on social media and doing this podcast and on top of that. But I think that'll be a really nice balance of, like, having something stable, but also being able to feel what I love. And, like, having that schedule, I think, will be really nice because I know the times that I'm off the clock and I know the times that I'm on the clock and I can schedule things accordingly. Where when you are freelancing, you don't really know what your schedule is looking like. Trying to make plans with people is tough because I'm like, and then something pops up, I'm like, sorry, work. Like,
literally. And it's like, you never want to feel like a flake. I think that is like, again, another hard pill to swallow. Like when you're your own boss, it gets hard. Like you have to be on your shit. And I think it's really challenging, especially because we're still so young. Like, it's, not many people are freelancing this young, in my opinion. So I agree.
We're doing the damn thing.
Period.
Can you make money as a smaller creator?
Yes. I think that concept is so different now. I think before it was like you had to be a big creator to make money, and I think that was like the goal and the mindset for a lot of people. So that's what motivated getting more followers. But for me now, I think like I don't even look at my following. Like whether it's going up or down, I'm really never looking at that. The concept has changed so much. It's literally about the work you produce. I have made more money this year just for the fact that I do videos and I'm who I am than I've ever made in the past. And I think that in itself is very like, it just goes to show like as long as you're good at what you're doing, you can make money doing it no matter your rates. I also learned that if you're giving like rates and things like that, don't lowball yourself, y'all. I'm a lowballer. That's one thing about me. I'm always like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna lowball myself because like, what if it's not that good? And I think no, like, especially someone with a degree, no, I'm not doing that shit no more.
Exactly.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm like, no, I have a degree, so I think depending on the project, obviously.
Yeah.
I think to understand how much you're worth is to talk to someone who also like does it.
Yes.
So definitely do that. I think, but for me, I consider myself a small creator. I only have 12,000 something followers, and I think like that's a great number, but I used to have like 18. So it was just
Right.
like I've definitely dropped a lot of followers because I went to school and stopped posting. But yeah, I've definitely made money off it in the past year, and that was like my biggest goal. So
Yeah.
it worked.
Also, always ask them their budget.
Yes.
Because you might think that something's a lot of money, and then you ask them their budget, and they see something way more. I was the number I had in my head for a brand deal. I asked the brand what their budget was. The number they gave me was 3 times what I was going to save for my rate. Imagine if they would have been like, oh, easy,
Sure.
And the video ended up doing really well. It like got like 200,000 views. So.
Okay, yeah.
Also, if I had done that for a smaller amount of money, I would have been so annoyed because it was worth way more.
Way more. Yeah.
So always ask what their budget is and then counter, because you're in the power position when a brand's reaching out to you. They want you. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, ask for the money that you deserve.
Agreed.
Yes. And you kind of mentioned you stopped posting, so you started losing people. Do you think it's important to post every day or just like once a week? Or like how consistent do you think you need to be posting to continue to grow?
I definitely think you need to pop up in some way, shape, or form at least once a day. I think that is like the best way to know, like, in my mindset, I'm like, when I go on Instagram, I'm looking for very specific people in terms of content creators. And I think that is the mindset that you want to get your followers on if you want to grow. So I think like posting at least on your story a little bit, like every day. But when you stop posting, people know and people will not watch anymore because they're just like, okay, like you fell out. This clearly wasn't your goal. So it is what it is. So I definitely think that it's like an up and down, a slippery slope for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. All right. So our next segment is called Crafty Corner. Little description about that. If you've ever been on set, there's a crafty table. So it's like all the snacks for the entire day because you only have like one lunch or like maybe 2 meals. So like this is what we're eating for the 12-hour day. What is your favorite snack or like go-to thing to eat when you're creating content? Like, or what would your ideal crafty setup look like?
Okay, this is a great question because I have a lot of random and specific things I love to eat. So,
Awesome.
especially in the new year, I've tried a lot of different foods. So I will say one thing that has been in my rotation a lot, which is like kind of bougie, is a ceviche, which is like...
I love ceviche. It's so good.
I'm obsessed.
Yes.
Like no matter how it comes, that is something that like I'm thinking about eating at least once a week. In terms of like regular snacks, like I loved so random, like I don't know if you had many poppy stores around you, but like nacho cheese sunflower seeds, like those 30-cent little packs from the corner store, I get those every single day. Like it's so random. It's like from my childhood though. That's why I get it.
Yeah.
And like I'm just someone who will go to the corner store and get like 2 bags of chips, a soda. Like I still run on that same schedule. And that's what I'm always doing. So I'm always eating like snacks from the corner store, whether that be like hot Cheetos, Pringles. Like I'm a big snacker for sure. But definitely like aside from that, like it's gonna be like a ceviche, a snack, and a soup. Like not gonna lie, I ate soup at 2 a.m. last night. Like I
love
I'm
soup.
a soup girl through and through. So
Italian wedding,
yes,
mushroom.
literally.
Like, ooh, I love a good soup.
I love it so much, no matter the weather.
And I have to ask you, because I'm a Richie's stan.
Yeah.
What would be your go-to Richie's order?
What was my... Oh, I got a CBL, a cookie butter latte.
Yes, I was going to say that too.
I love that.
So good.
The best drink that they have.
So good.
Period.
Yes.
Actually, there's 2. There's that one, and there's one that they bring around during Valentine's Day. It's like the strawberry sugar cookie drink.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Like, I have never... Those are the 2 best drinks I've ever had in my life.
Yes.
Like, simply.
I
What about
also
you?
love their Halloween
Yes.
one. They have a witch's brew, and it's matcha with ube cold
I
foam.
didn't try it. I want to.
I was like, can you make this like all year long?
Right.
It's so good.
That sounds
And I love
amazing.
that they do like the seasonal drinks. It's so
Same.
fun, and they're always so bomb. I'm like so sad when I'm in LA and they're posting like, we're doing a raspberry, da-da-da-da. And I'm like,
Like, damn.
damn. And then I get back and it's holidays, so Richie's is
Right.
closed,
No,
so then I don't
literally.
even get to try anything.
That sucks.
Pissed. I'm pissed.
I would be pissed too.
Yes, like coming out with all these great flavors and I'm
Literally.
across the country. All right, so our next segment is industry icks and your betrayal list. So like your industry betrayal list. So an example of mine is like net 90 payment.
Oh God.
Not getting paid for 3 months
Yeah.
after you do something. So what would be on like your industry betrayal list? What's like an industry ick that you have?
Honestly, like not even because you said that, I definitely even a
Yeah,
net 30,
net
if
30,
I'm gonna
I'm
be
still
honest
mad.
with you. I think the concept is very like it's almost as if it's like saying like we're gonna see how this video does and then we'll pay you. What they're gonna pay you regardless if you sign a contract.
Yeah, I make them
Sometimes.
sign it. I send an invoice.
Yeah,
I have documentation. I'm
literally.
gonna charge you interest if you don't pay me in net
Exactly.
30.
That's something
Yeah.
that I will be doing the new year. I think that that is something that is very like that is like it feels betrayal because sometimes that
Yeah.
happens. And there was a situation one time where I was like on a net 60. I don't remember what it was. It was like a few months, and
Yeah.
I like the check got lost in the mail. It was a paper check at that. Paper check got lost in the mail. It was a
Please.
whole thing. I didn't get my money for months, and I was
Oh my
like,
gosh.
I don't even remember working on this project, like
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all. Like,
right.
So great, grants. I got it, but excuse me, but that definitely feels like a betrayal when they're like,
Yeah.
okay, like I think being paid upfront is the way we should go about it because
I
we're gonna do the
agree.
video regardless, and there's a contract in place. So even if I don't do the video, you can come for me. But
Yeah,
whatever.
and I'm like, I don't understand. Like, do you not have the money?
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna be getting it within the month? Like, why are you hiring someone without having the funds to pay them?
Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree.
And then like creators, like a lot of us are working gig to gig. So it's like now I have to plan when I'm getting that money where
Yeah.
like, what if I need it I
Right.
do that job and I think I'm getting that money that week, but I don't get it for like a month or two.
Yeah.
Like it's a little bit
It's a crazy
weird.
concept.
Yeah,
I agree.
truly. Okay, so obviously this is called Call Sheet Confessions. So what is your call sheet confession? Any memorable like story from your career, a mishap, a lessons learned, funny behind the scenes?
I'm trying to think of something. I might need a second. Thinking
Take
of
your
like
time.
the last. Okay, honestly, okay. This is like kind of bad, but so I'm thinking about just like, and I'm not gonna say names, but like
Yeah.
in terms of brands. But there was a time in college where I was working with 4 brands at one point, 4, while in school, while having 3 jobs, while having a boyfriend. Like
Wow,
I
a
was
lot.
very much spread thin.
Yeah.
It got to the point where I was making genuinely so much money, and like it was great, but like I couldn't let school fumble at all. That was my main
No,
thing. My mom,
yeah.
I was like, I'm not trying to make like my parents have to pay for anything. Like I just want
Yeah.
to ensure that I get this done.
Get
So
this
I was
degree.
working with 4 brands at once, and I got to the point where I was like, I don't even have time to do anything. So I had to hire someone
Oh my gosh! Wait, I love
to work on all the videos. And honestly, like it honestly didn't go through because like we ran into a situation where the person that I hired also had the same brand deal, like one of them, and that was like the strongest demand. And I think that was like it just didn't work out for me. I did not
Yeah.
execute the way I should have. Like, and these were big brands, y'all. Like these were not like these are everyday life. Like we talk about these brands, and I fumbled. Like I like halfway through, I was like, hey, like to be transparent, I gotta cut it short. Like this is
Yeah.
not gonna work because I can't execute properly. I think was the mature thing to do though. Like I didn't
Yeah,
want to
you
just
want
like
to be like upfront about that because
Yeah.
you take on things, but then if it's too much to take on at the time, yeah, you want to
yeah.
communicate.
It was
that.
a lot, and I think like specifically for Temple too. Temple was like such a hot commodity for like working with brands and like
Yeah.
tabling at events and like all this stuff. So
Yeah.
I was doing like I ran into situations where like I had to be at like 3 like events back to back at this like Temple Fest. Girl, I had to
Yes.
table 3 different tables at
Oh
that
my
event. That was
gosh.
insane. So for me, I kind of was just like, yeah, I fumbled the bag there. Definitely in confession because like I still
Yeah,
think about it to this day, and I'm like, damn, I will never ever bite off more than I can chew. Again,
Yeah, note to
'cause
self.
That was like too much.
Yeah. So in another life, if you weren't a content creator, what would you be doing?
That's a great question. I honestly, I never really thought about it now that I think about it. I feel like I was blessed enough with the fact that no matter what anyone told me, I was going to pursue this in
Yeah.
some way, shape, or form. So I never really had the opportunity to think like, what if I didn't? I do think I would be in the media realm for sure.
Yeah.
My dream job, and I don't want to say like in another life because I feel like I'll touch this someday, but my dream job is to be a voice actor.
Oh,
My goal
amazing.
in life is to literally just like fly to here, there, go sit in a booth for 12 hours, do my parts for the show,
Yeah.
go about my life.
Did you
Like,
take the voiceover class at
I
Temple?
loved that
Were
class.
we in that class too?
Maybe
I felt like we had a second class together.
was it a woman who taught?
Yes.
Then maybe we did.
Yes.
Oh,
And was
I
it
forget her
that
name.
that classroom like under Annenberg? Like it was like
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't even remember that.
We might have.
And maybe it's take for us a different time. Who knows?
Maybe,
But
yeah.
no, I definitely took that class. And I think for me, like I would definitely be a lot more in the industry behind the scenes in terms of like working on like more commercial work, doing like voice actor work. And I want to do that at some point in my career. But I think like if I didn't pursue this now the way that I am, I would definitely just be like looking for more things. Yeah. I definitely want to get more into like acting and things like that. I don't think I'm a great actor at all. I don't even really try. But I know if I apply myself, I feel like I'd be really good. Yeah. Because I do things like podcasts and like videos where I show up all the time. And it's like, yes, it's me, but it's also like a persona you have to put on where it's like you're just like more chiseled out, more smooth. So I think like for me, that is definitely, that's definitely like what I'd want to do. I don't know. I think like aside from that, I'd probably just be like, I don't even know if I'm being honest. Like I had no interest aside from this. If I'm being, like genuinely to the core of it, I got into Temple as a computer science major and switched before I even got
Wow,
it.
a computer science major?
And I switched before I even got to Temple. I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna what it. I gotta switch. So
I was early childhood education,
See?
and then I switched it.
That's how it be, and that's why we gotta stop doubting ourselves. Because no, like, I mean, that would have been great,
like, I
but
like kids.
yeah,
Like it'd be
easy
fun,
peasy.
sure. But then when I saw MSP, I was like, oh, need
very
that.
interesting.
They had a personal branding class. That's like what I saw, and I was like, whatever major that is,
I need that.
I need that.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you were starting over, what would your advice be to aspiring content creators, people that want to be in your position, want to be going to influencer events, want to be scoring brand deals? Like, what advice would you give them?
I honestly think, at least for, I want to say this like for the Philly people, because I don't really travel for work that much in terms of creation, but I really think like the best piece of advice, and I know this sounds kind of crazy, is to just not be so thirsty. Like to not. I think there's a lot of real people behind these brands. There is real people behind these brands who can like, you know, sense vibes and sense like motivation and like why you're doing what you're doing. And I think people can clearly see when someone loves what they're doing or when someone just wants to do it to say that they did it. People see right through that. And I've learned that this year where like in situations where like I've worked with one brand, I could tell they worked with me because like I damn near begged. Like, and you know, like that's fine and all. I was grateful to work with that brand, but I think it didn't have any opportunity or hold any weight for me to come back in the new year because one piece of information I was told by a manager that I was on a call with once before, he was like, is the goal when you're working with brands is to ask to come back every year after that, to create that relationship and to do that. So
that ongoing relationship.
Yeah, and he said, so every restaurant you ever worked with, reach back out, say thank you. Reach back out to every brand you work with this year, say thank you, say you're send them email, do whatever you have to do because they will think of you next. And I think that
the thank you is so important.
It is because they appreciate that and they want to know because there's also just like that mindset of like creators who like I have this like funny joke where I'm like, where if I'm like a minute late to a dinner, like I feel like the restaurant's like, that snooty influencer, like they're so like it's like a joke, but I'm like, that's probably how it's viewed. Like you never know because it's like, you know, I don't know, it's just like a different mindset. But I walk into every room and I again say hello to everyone. I make sure like I was born with manners. So I'm just like I very much worked on that. So when I say like don't be so thirsty, I think like dial it back a little bit and work on your craft rather than just like one video went viral and you're reaching out to everyone now to then because they can't see that you execute. They can see one video you popped off on, but they can't see that you are passionate about it. So,
or that you consistently pop off.
Exactly.
They see one video, but they don't know yet.
Right, because even if it doesn't always pop off, but seeing you work at it, I think that's what makes them like, yeah, come on, like we'll work with you.
They'll have more trust in you if they see it's something you're consistently doing and like care about and not just like you said, I have one video now I want to bring in all the brand deals.
Exactly.
Like,
I agree completely.
Like that, for sure. And you mentioned that you were recently working on a video of like the 5 things you learned about like content creation and everything. What are some of those things?
Yeah, I was working on this video yesterday and I quickly stopped making the video because I was like, this is so like personal to my experience that I don't want anyone to take offense to it. But for me, I feel like the things that I learned this year, a few of them were the fact that like being invited to something is very different than outreaching and cold calling to like get there. And I think once you're in a position of being invited to something, for me, I think like showing up is very important and showing like that you are passionate and that you care about doing these things is just important in general. And to do like a no call, no show on like a dinner that you reserved or something like that with the restaurant. I've been in situations where I've heard like restaurants will come up to me and be like, yeah, I had this other influencer last week. Tell me their name and just like openly talk about it. And you don't want to get blackballed in Philly. Like, it's very easy.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I'm
a
like,
smaller city.
way
Like, people are going to
smaller.
hear that. Yeah.
And everyone knows each other in the city. So
Yeah.
it's just like, you don't really want to get blackballed. And I feel like that is something that I saw very quickly. I was like, oh, they're talking about them. I cannot be on that bandwagon. Like, I do not want to hop on that. So for me, just like showing up and like, even if you can't make it or whatever the case may be, definitely like be transparent about what's going on, because that is something that is very important. And things come up, like, you never know. So for me, I think that was like my biggest thing this year that I learned. On top of that, also who you're surrounding yourself with.
Yeah.
I think like once you're in a situation where you're going to the same events, going and seeing the same people, and I will say a lot of these events are very like picky. Like, you'll see a handful of some people at one event, handful of others. Like, it really is neither here or there. I think building relationship and finding like almost your clique, that's usually frowned upon, like in a high school setting, things like that. But no,
Yeah.
finding your community within a bigger community
Yeah.
is definitely important, because it's very easy. Everyone's at different levels. Like,
Right.
you can be in the same room as someone who got invited and they have 300,000 followers while you're literally like still starting out. And I think
Yeah.
that is like, it's a hard concept because people will view you in a certain light. And I think that just comes with the job. So
Yeah.
for me, I think that's definitely something I learned, is just like, watch who you surround yourself with, and definitely surround yourself with people who share the same passion as you. Because the group of people that I've met this year that are in content creation, I love them because not only do I watch them, I always say this, people I hang out with, I watch them,
Yeah.
like genuinely. And I only say
And
like,
support their content, what they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm reposting, I'm liking, I'm doing all the things to show that I support. And I think that that is very important. And yeah, I just like really respect a lot of the hustle that I see specifically in Philly. And I hope that I can like really start branching out a lot more in the next years.
Yeah, and I think that in community is so important to have, because like you said earlier, when you're talking about rates or you have questions about the industry, you can go to those
Yeah.
people and have those conversations, which is really helpful
We're
because
transparent.
you're in it together. Yeah. So that's really
I agree.
yeah. We love our Philly community.
Yeah, we do.
So our last question is, are you living your dream? What's your dream project? Yeah. Like, have you had your dream job? Are you currently living in it? Or what is the future dream job?
So I feel like I'm doing both. I really do. I am so grateful to be in a position to even do what I've done, because I say like a lot of like specifically where my account started taking off stemmed from a lot of depression and like a lot of like, I just felt so down, and to birth this baby, if you will, like during a sad time in your life is very inspiring. And I think that I held on to that this year to keep me motivated until I got to like a week ago when I was just like, I'm done. I was like, I'm done videos. I don't want to see a restaurant until the new year. Like I am so spread thin, and I'm grateful for that. Like I'm genuinely grateful to be in a position to do that. So yes, I do feel like I'm living my dream, but I know that for me, like my goal in life isn't to be like this big celebrity. Like that's never been the goal. I just know for sure that I love like media in general in any way, shape, or form. And I think to be so involved in that heavily in so many different ways and outlets is the goal. Coming back to the idea of being a voice actor, I think like that is like my end game. I really want to do that. That's like my dream. I want to work on it and perfect that. And I feel like this is all going to get me there. So yeah, I think I do feel like I'm living my dream. I will say it's very hard. Social media is not real at the end of the day. Like, love social media, but we only show the best parts of our life most of the time. Some people are getting big for showing the worst parts of their life, and that's completely valid. I just think for me, I've gone through a lot behind the scenes this past year specifically, and I think to still show up every day, to still put on this like face of like, I'm okay, even at these events that I'm recording and then having to produce for the next day. Like, it was very hard to show up. So, yeah, I think I'm living my dream as long as I stay passionate.
I love that. Yeah, you have to keep the passion going. That's what keeps you going with the hard times, with everything. Alrighty. Well, I think that's it for this episode of Call Sheet Confessions. Mar, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I feel like this was such a informative conversation for people that want to get into content creation and maybe are already in it and want to learn more. Like, there was definitely a lot of incredible advice and tidbits that you shared. So thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you for having me. It's an honor, especially because I caught you right before you fly back to LA.
Yes, literally.
I'm so happy that we were able to do this. And again, whenever I'm in LA, I'm looking for you. So that's no question asked at all. Like, I definitely am so excited to see like where both of our careers go, because again, like I'm here talking about my experience, but you have your own experience that I feel like we need to share a lot more too on this podcast. So I think in some way, shape, or form, even if the next time if I interview you, I'd love to do that, because it is so cool to just like share this with someone. And like again, like you're in LA, you're in Philly. I think it's like so cool that we even kept that connection and just like the love for the media in general. So I'm so
Yeah.
happy that I was able to come here. Thank you so much for having
Of
me. And
course.
yeah,
Is
I'm
there
just
anything you
like,
want to shout out? Your Instagram, Philly Finest
yes, I
Foodies?
will say if you guys love foodie content and if you're in the Philadelphia area, please give my Instagram a follow. It's at PHL Finest Foodies. Me and my friend Camille work so hard on making fun content for you. Like genuinely, like turning the food content into something that's a little bit more relatable. So if you guys love that type of content, please give that a follow. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's MSXNTANA, M Santana. Please
Clock
follow my
it.
journey there. I'll be vlogging. There'll be a new series probably in the new year. I'm a series ass bitch. I can't lie. But so I'm excited to do that. And yeah, thank you for having me
Yeah, some
overall.
stuff to look forward to for sure. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment any careers you want to hear about, any guests you want me to have on the show. Thank you so much. And always remember, may your call times be reasonable and your checks be on time. Dream big, work hard, love what you do. And like my Mimi always says, break a leg, but not really. Bye, guys.